Vorlon-5 was a quiet colony world, small, peaceful, and far from the major powers of the galaxy. Its skies were bright blue, its forests glowing softly at night, and its people lived simple, gentle lives. They had never known true war. They had never faced a real enemy. Until today, the alarms began at dawn. Red lights flashed across every building. A deep siren echoed through the forests. The Devourers were coming. No one on Vorlon-5 had ever seen them, but everyone knew the stories. A swarm that moved from star system to star system, leaving silence behind. Not conquering, not negotiating, just wiping out everything alive. Their ships looked alive. Twisted organic monsters that ate energy and tore apart planets. Entire species had fled from them. Entire sectors had gone dark. Now Vorlon-5 was next. Inside the colony command center, the governor stood over a trembling hologram. It showed the Devourer swarm moving through space like a growing storm. "How long until they reach us?" he asked. The technician's voice shook. 6 hours, sir. Maybe less. 6 hours. 6 hours until death. The governor turned to his council. "Send distress signals to every nearby empire. Anyone who can help, call them." "Yes, sir." A dozen signals shot into space, carrying a desperate message. "This is Vorlon-5. We are under threat of Devourer attack. We request immediate assistance." Then came the waiting. Minutes passed. A reply from the Zorath Collective arrived first. "We cannot commit forces. Our borders are threatened. We wish you luck." Luck, that was all they offered. Next came the Serathi Dominion. "We will send support in 3 weeks." 3 weeks. The colony had 6 hours. Other replies were even worse. Unavailable, too far, unable to divert ships. Hold out as long as you can. Hold out against the Devourers? It was hopeless. The governor sank into his chair. "We are alone." But then an elder council member spoke softly. "There is one more option." Everyone turned to stare at him. "You can't mean—" "Yes," the elder said. "Send a request to the humans." Silence swallowed the room. The Deathworlders. Humans were strange compared to other species. Tough, unpredictable, stubborn, and frighteningly creative. They came from a world full of deadly creatures and violent storms. Their technology advanced faster than anyone else's. Their ships were rumored to be unstable, dangerous, and terrifying. Some called humans heroes. Others called them walking disasters. "Are you sure?" the governor asked quietly. "No one else will help us," the elder said. "If the humans cannot save us, no one can—" The governor hesitated, then nodded. "Send the SOS to the Terran Alliance." A single message left the colony, to humanity. "Vorlon-5 is under Devourer threat. Please help us." Minutes passed. Nothing. An hour passed. Still nothing. The colony grew darker. Fear spread through every street. Families gathered in shelters. Children cried. Soldiers prepared weapons that would do almost nothing. The governor checked the scanners again and again. No human reply, no sign of a ship, no hope. "They aren't coming," someone whispered. "They ignored us just like the others." The elder closed his eyes. Maybe they cannot risk it. The governor leaned over the console, defeated. Then every screen flickered, every sensor spiked. An alarm blared louder than anything before. "Object detected, entering the system." The governor jumped to his feet. "What is it, Devourers already?" "No, sir," the technician shouted. "It's something huge, very huge." A new hologram appeared. At first it was just a shadow, a black shape moving through space. Then details emerged, smooth metal, glowing lights, a terrifying silhouette that blocked the stars behind it. The governor gasped. "Is that a ship?" "Yes, sir, but I've never seen anything this big." The object moved slower than other ships, but with a confidence that made it even more frightening. The colony sensors attempted to scan it. Nothing worked. "Sir, our scanners cannot read its energy signature. We can't measure its mass. It's too large, too advanced." A message suddenly appeared on the command center screen. The voice was deep, steady, and unmistakably human. "This is the human vessel Eclipse of Iron. Vorlon-5, we received your SOS." Everyone froze. The humans had answered, but they had not sent soldiers. They had not sent medics. They had not sent a rescue fleet. They had sent a warship, the largest ship anyone on Vorlon-5 had ever seen. The governor swallowed. "Human vessel, can you protect us?" There was a short pause. Then the human captain responded, "Do not be afraid. You are under Terran protection now." The colony breathed for the first time in hours. But then the human captain added something strange, something that made the governor's blood run cold. "We didn't come to help. We came to finish the Devourers." A wave of heat washed through the room. Terror, relief, confusion. The elder whispered, "Deathworlders, they sent their most dangerous ship. The Devourers were already nearing the edge of the system. But now, Vorlon 5 was no longer alone, and the Devourers were about to learn what Deathworld-born humans were capable of." The people of Vorlon 5 gathered outside as the sky darkened. It was not nightfall. It was the shadow of the enormous human ship drifting across the upper atmosphere. The vessel moved like a silent mountain carved from black steel, its surface glowing with blue and gold lights that pulsed like a heartbeat. Every alien looked up with fear. Children hid behind their parents. Soldiers raised their weak rifles. Even the governor felt his knees shake. This was not the kind of ship one sent for a rescue. This was the kind of ship sent to end a war. Inside the command center, the technicians stared in disbelief at their failing scanners. The readings flickered, spiked, then crashed again. "Sir, the ship's energy output is beyond our measurement range, beyond everything," the governor whispered. "Yes, sir. Everything." The elder council member spoke softly. "This is a Deathworlder ship. Their machines are made to survive things that would kill the rest of us." Another alarm beeped, yet not an alarm of danger, but of communication. A message was coming through. The screen lit up with a calm human face wearing dark armor. His tone was steady, almost gentle. "This is Captain Ren Ward of the human vessel Oblivion's Edge. Vorlon 5, we detected your SOS. Stand by." The governor tried to speak, but his voice cracked. "Human vessel, what are your intentions?" Ward didn't blink. "To secure your world." The answer chilled everyone. Outside, the Oblivion's Edge continued lowering itself, but it never touched the atmosphere. Instead, the massive ship positioned itself between the Devourer arrival sector and the small alien colony. It was taking the full danger for itself. The governor felt a strange mix of hope and fear. "Do you require support from our defense fleet? We can assist." Ward shook his head. "Negative. Stand down. Your ships would not survive the first strike." A painful truth, but hearing it in such a calm voice made it even more terrifying. On the ground, Vorlon citizens watched as small drones detached from the human ship, thousands of glowing blue orbs swirling around it like a cloud of guardian stars. "What are those?" a soldier whispered. "Defensive units," replied the elder. "Each one is stronger than our largest cannon." Then more drones appeared, larger ones, shaped like blades, moving with a frightening intelligence. The governor watched them form patterns in the sky. "They're preparing for war," he murmured. Inside the command center, panic spread again when a new alert flashed. The Devourers were 6 minutes away. "Captain Ward," the governor yelled, "you must fall back. Retreat to the far side of the system. They will overwhelm you." Ward's reply was immediate. "We do not retreat." "Why?" the governor cried. "Why stay when you could escape?" Ward took a slow breath. "Because Deathworlders do not run from predators. We hunt them." The starfield twisted. A ripple of darkness spread across space. Then the Devourers arrived. Dozens of monstrous insect-shaped ships burst into the system, spiked, pulsing alive. Their hulls seemed to breathe. Their weapons glowed with sickly green energy. Screams echoed through the colony. "Governor, we're detecting organic weapon signatures. They're charging. They're targeting the Oblivion's Edge. And us." The governor grabbed the console. "Humans, prepare for evasive action." But the human captain didn't move. His eyes stayed locked on the Devourer swarm. "All units," Ward commanded calmly. "Defense posture, Aurelius." The Oblivion's Edge responded instantly. Its hull shifted, plates folding like living armor. A shimmering blue shield expanded outward, covering the entire colony. Human drones formed a tight formation around the ship, glowing brighter and brighter. The Vorlon had never seen such discipline, such readiness, such cold confidence. The Devourers fired first. Sickly green blasts shot across space, spreading like acid, eating everything they touched. The colony trembled as the attacks headed straight toward the human ship, and then they vanished. Right before impact, the blasts dissolved into harmless sparks. Gasps filled the command center. "What happened?" a technician cried. "The human shield absorbed it," another shouted. "No, wait, it neutralized it." Captain Ward didn't flinch. "The Devourers have not updated their weapons," he said. "We have—" The Devourers screamed. An awful psychic shriek felt across the colony. Their ships rushed forward like a swarm of angry wasps. The governor shouted, "Humans, pull back! They are too many!" Ward turned his head slightly, his voice steady. "Governor, understand something. The Devourers are a threat to everyone, not just you. We came here because someone needed to end them." The governor froze. Someone needed to end them. The colony had asked for help, but the humans came for something more. They came to destroy the enemy that terrified the galaxy. The Devourer swarm unleashed a second wave, larger, stronger, glowing bright enough to light the entire sky. The Oblivion's edge responded. The drones broke formation, accelerating at impossible speeds. Energy patterns lit up across the ship. hull. A deep hum vibrated through the entire system. Ward raised one hand. "Oblivion's edge," he said quietly. "Permission to engage," the ship answered with a thundering pulse of blue light. The first Devourer ship exploded instantly. Cleanly, silently, the aliens on Vorlon -5 stared in frozen horror and awe. This was not just a warship, this was a machine built to kill monsters. The governor whispered. "They didn't send help, they sent their most dangerous ship." The elder nodded. "Because they knew the truth," he said. "Helping us wouldn't be enough. The Devourers must be stopped here." As the human warship moved like a dark titan cutting through the swarm, one truth became clear to the entire colony. Deathworlders do not save you by protecting you. They save you by destroying whatever threatens you. The Devourers had met their match, and Vorlon -5, for the first time since the alarm began, felt a spark of hope. The calm silence of space shattered as the Devourers finally entered the Vorlon system. They did not arrive slowly. They did not arrive quietly. They tore their way into real space like a storm ripping open the sky. The colony sensors screamed. Multiple signatures detected. Dozens, no, hundreds of ships they are approaching. Formation speed. Governor Thale stood frozen as the hologram updated. Dark shapes filled the display. Ships shaped like twisted bone, muscle, and metal, as if grown instead of built. Their armor pulsed like the skin of a living beast. Their engines oozed trails of sick green light. The Devourers were here. Every person on Vorlon -5 felt the cold wave of fear. The air inside every building seemed to thicken. Even the children hiding in shelters suddenly understood the meaning of danger. In the command center, a horrified whisper echoed, "There are so many." The governor turned to his defense officers. "Shield status?" "Flickering, sir. Their energy is interfering with our grid." "And the defense fleet?" The officer swallowed hard. "Our ships cannot stand against even one of theirs." The governor felt his chest tighten. Everything they had feared was happening exactly as the stories had warned. The Devourers did not negotiate. They did not communicate. They did not stop. They only consumed. As the swarm spread across the system, several of the Devourer ships rotated toward the Oblivion's edge. Their twisted hulls pulsed with green light. They scanned the massive dark shape floating calmly in the void. The Devourers made a decision. They ignored it. To them, the human vessel was just a strange, oversized object. To LA. RGE to be agile, too quiet to be dangerous, and too singular to be a threat. They focused instead on the colony behind it, the small world filled with living energy. The Vorlon fleet pushed forward to intercept, even though they knew they could not win. Tiny ships, weak shields, old weapons. They stood no chance, but they flew anyway. The governor swallowed hard as he watched his brave pilots fly toward the monsters. "Contact the human vessel," he ordered. The human captain appeared immediately, calm as ever. "Captain Ward," the governor said, voice shaking, "we beg you, leave the system. They will destroy you too." Ward's reply came without emotion, without fear. "Governor, we are exactly where we need to be." The governor blinked. "But your ship?" Ward cut him off gently. "Don't worry, we brought enough firepower." The Devourers opened fire. It was not like any weapon the Vorlon had seen before. It was not a beam or missile. It was a wave, a rolling mass of green energy that looked alive, crawling across space like a tidal flood. "It's heading for the Oblivion's edge," a technician yelled. The governor grabbed the console. "Humans, brace yourselves." The wave struck the human ship. The colony screamed, the Vorlon pilots shouted warnings, the sensors spiked into red alerts, and then the wave disappeared, gone, not blocked, not deflected, not absorbed. It vanished as if it had never existed. The technician stared at his screen. I don't understand. There is no impact, no shield reaction, no damage. Another technician whispered, "It's like the attack was consumed." The devourer swarm paused, confused. The humans remained silent. Ward finally spoke. "Their opening strike was weak. Let's see what else they can do." The governor stared at him in shock. "Weak? That attack could destroy half a planet." Ward shrugged slightly. "To humans, that was weak." Devourers roared. An awful psychic scream that rattled the colony's bones. Their ships surged forward, pushing toward the human warship in a living wave. Dozens of devourer vessels surrounded the Oblivion's edge, spitting out projectiles that looked like metal teeth. They latched onto the human hull, trying to infect it, pierce it, drain it. The command center erupted in fear. They're attaching. They're consuming the ship. They're going to break through. But Ward's voice remained unchanged. "Let them." The Vorlon stared at the screen. The monstrous devourer claws scraped against the human ship's hull, but they didn't pierce it. They didn't even scratch it. Instead, the devourer ships began to melt. Their living armor bubbled, sizzled, and dissolved as if the human ship's surface was toxic to them. The governor whispered, "Your hull is killing them." Ward nodded. "Adaptive nanoforge plating. It changes based on what touches it." The devourers kept coming. The plating kept dissolving them. More and more devourer ships piled on, trying to overwhelm the human vessel with sheer numbers. They all met the same end. On the devourer flagship, a psychic ripple passed through the swarm. For the first time in their long existence, the devourers experienced something alien to them. Confusion, then curiosity, then fear. They had attacked many worlds. They had consumed many species, but never had they encountered something their weapons simply couldn't affect. A swarm stopped momentarily, pulling back, assessing the giant human ship. Why did this vessel not fall? Why did it not break? Why did it not run? And then the devourers understood. This was not prey. This was not a weakling species. This was a Deathworlder warship, a ship built by creatures who lived alongside danger every day, a ship built by beings who adapted faster than the swarm could consume. A ship built not to defend, but to annihilate. The devourers turned their attention fully onto the humans. The colony watched nervously. Ward watched calmly. The swarm screamed again, this time not in hunger, but in warning. The governor stared at the human captain's face. "Captain Ward, will your ship survive the next wave?" Ward finally allowed a small smile. "Governor," he said, "the next wave isn't their concern. It's ours." "What do you mean?" Ward stepped forward, eyes turning to steel. "They attacked first, now it's our turn." The devourers gathered into attack formation. Their weapons glowed green. Their ship screamed, and the colony held its breath. Humanity was finally preparing to strike back. The devourer swarm tightened its formation, preparing for another full strike. Their sickly green glow stained the stars. Their living hulls twitched with hunger. Their psychic roar echoed through the system. But the Oblivion's edge did not react. It hung silently in the void like a sleeping giant. Dark, cold, unbothered by the chaos gathering around it. Inside the Vorlon 5 command center, the governor clutched the console. "They're charging again. This one is stronger." Captain Renward appeared on the holoscreen, perfectly calm. "Good. Now watch closely." A shiver ran through the room. The devourers fired. Dozens of devourer ships unleashed their attack, massive streams of hungry green energy, each one capable of melting a destroyer in seconds. The combined attack lit up space like a toxic sunrise. The wave rushed toward the human ship. Vorlon soldiers braced themselves. Technicians stared helplessly. Everyone expected an explosion. But then something unbelievable happened. A shield unfolded from the Oblivion's edge. Not a dome, not a bubble, a geometric shield lattice glowing blue and gold, expanded outward like a giant flower opening its petals. Beautiful. Too beautiful for a weapon. The devourer beams hit the shield. They didn't explode. They didn't push the shield back. They simply vanished, evaporated into sparks of harmless golden light. The governor gasped. The shield, it's absorbing their attacks. The elder whispered, no, not absorbing. Neutralizing. The devourers stopped firing. They did not understand what they were seeing, and that made them afraid. The Oblivion's edge began to glow. At first it was faint, then brighter still, until the massive ship looked like a star wrapped in armor. Energy lines ran across its hull like veins of molten silver. Every weapon port lit up, turrets, lances, beam arrays, missile bays, each one humming with impossible levels of energy. The devourers sensed danger. Their entire swarm shifted backward. The psychic scream they emitted this time was not hunger. It was fear. Captain Ward's voice echoed calmly across every Vorlon speaker. Threat level high. The ship's lights intensified. Response level overwhelming. And then humanity fired. The Oblivion's edge released a single beam. Thin, silent, barely visible. It did not look like a weapon at all. But when it touched the nearest devourer battleship, the results were instant. The entire creature ship dissolved into white dust. No explosion, no fire, no debris, just gone. The command center erupted in shock. A battleship, destroyed in one hit. How is that possible? What kind of energy weapon is that? Ward did not answer. His eyes stayed forward, focused on the swarm. The devourers panicked. For the first time in their history, they retreated. But they were too slow. A second beam fired. This one wider, brighter. It sliced through 3 devourer ships at once, cutting them cleanly in half as if they were paper. Their organic armor liquefied. Their cores collapsed. A third beam, F, fired. A fourth. A fifth. Each shot took out multiple ships. The Vorlon watched with jaws open, unable to believe what they were seeing. Their own warships could not dent a devourer hull, but the humans were tearing through the swarm like slicing fruit. The elder whispered, that ship. It wasn't built to defend planets. It was built to kill nightmares. Even the devourer queen ship, a huge, hulking monster, took a blast of energy and staggered. A devourer ship had never staggered before. The galaxy was watching a miracle, or a nightmare. The swarm changed tactics. They pulled back, then rushed forward in random patterns, trying to confuse the human targeting systems. Some tried to cloak, some tried to release energy-eating spores, some attempted to generate psychic waves meant to overload enemy minds, but the Oblivion's edge adapted instantly. Its shields reshaped their angles, its hull shifted materials, its weapons recalibrated without delay. Corthex from the Vorlon defense team stared in awe. The ship is learning. It's updating faster than they can change. Humans built this? A soldier asked. The elder only whispered, Deathworlders do not build normal ships. One by one, the devourer vessels fell. Some evaporated in beams of white light. Some were sliced apart by invisible blades. Some simply collapsed, their energy drained by the human ship's adaptive systems. After minutes of battle, only a small part of the swarm remained. They no longer charged, they no longer roared. They fled. The devourers had never fled from anything. The governor felt tears in his eyes. We're winning. No, the elder said softly. Humanity is winning. He was right. The Vorlon had done nothing. The humans had done everything. The queen ship tried to escape. Its enormous form pulsed with sick green energy as it pushed toward the edge of the system. Ward raised his hand. Oblivion's edge, core lance, prepare. The hull of the human ship opened, revealing a spiraling chamber of white-blue light, swirling like a newborn star, every sensor on Vorlon 5 overloaded. What are they doing? No weapon should create this much energy. Are they insane? Ward gave a single command, fire. The core lance released a beam thicker than a mountain. It hit the queen ship. Light swallowed everything. When it faded, there was nothing left, not debris, not dust, not even a trace. The queen ship was erased from reality. The devourers were gone, and the Oblivion's edge dimmed back to quiet black metal, as if nothing had happened. The Vorlons stared in silence. The humans hadn't just saved them. They had annihilated the greatest threat in the region, with calm precision. The governor whispered the truth. Everyone now understood. This is why the galaxy fears Deathworlders, the elder added, and why they send only one ship, when others would send a fleet. Captain Ward finally spoke. Vorlon 5 is secure. Begin recovery procedures. Humanity had answered the SOS, and they had sent the most dangerous ship in the galaxy. The battlefield around Vorlon 5 had turned into a graveyard of devourer ships. Burning fragments drifted through the void. Vapor trails glowed like dying stars. The once unstoppable swarm had been torn apart by a single human vessel, but the devourers were not finished, not yet. Inside the Vorlon Command Center, alarms blared again. Multiple devourer signatures are returning, dozens of them, no, hundreds. Governor Thale felt his stomach twist. How are they still coming? We saw them destroyed. A technician answered with shaking hands. Sir, these are the ones that survived the initial attack. They regrouped. They're charging again. The swarm moved like a cloud of rushing insects, driven by rage. They had never fed prey that fought back. Their hunger and confusion fueled their madness, and this time they were not firing from afar. They were coming to attach. Dozens of devourer vessels reached the Oblivion's edge. They latched onto the hull like monstrous leeches. Claws digging, teeth slicing, energy tendrils trying to penetrate the ship's surface. The entire colony watched in horror. They're trying to break inside. They're draining its power. They're infesting the hull. The Vorlon pilots tried to intervene, but were instantly pushed away by psychic shockwaves, Governor Thale shouted to the human captain. Commander Ward, pull back. They're overwhelming you. Ward did not raise his voice. He did not panic. He simply turned his head. They are not overwhelming us. They are positioning themselves exactly where we want them. The command center fell silent. Ward raised one finger. Oblivion's edge, he said. Activate pulse mode. At first, nothing changed. The devourers continued clawing at the ship. Green and black fluids oozed over the hull. Psionic waves lashed against the ship's defenses. The void-born creatures screamed in hunger, then a single pulse of blue-white light spread across the hull. Soft, silent, beautiful. For one fraction of a second, the swarm stopped moving. Then came the result. Every devourer touching the hull vaporized instantly. Not one survived, not one escaped. They didn't explode. They didn't burn. They simply disintegrated into dust. The governor gasped. They're gone. The elder whispered, pulse mode, a weapon designed for close contact attackers. Ward nodded. Pulse mode eliminates parasites without harming nearby life. And it was true. The shockwave passed harmlessly over Vorlon 5. Not a tree bent, not a leaf shook. But the devourers learned another frightening lesson that day, touching a human Deathworlder ship. Death. The surviving devourer ships, those still floating freely, saw the destruction and attempted to retreat. Retreat was a concept alien to them, but now their instincts screamed for survival. Ward did not allow them to escape. Hunter drones, he ordered, deploy and pursue. From the underside of the Oblivion's edge, hundreds of black, needle-shaped drones shot outward. They did not fly like machines. They flew like predators, silent, fast, and terrifyingly intelligent. The drones split into multiple formations, each one tracking a devourer vessel with mathematical precision. The first drone struck. It pierced a devourer ship cleanly through the center. The creature ship froze, then imploded. Another drone cut through a second ship. A third sliced open a smaller vessel like paper. Within minutes, the devourer survivors were no more. Not one escaped. The sky glowed with the fading trails of hunter drones returning to their mother's ship. The Vorlons stared in awe and fear. Those drones, they hunt like living beings, a soldier whispered. The elder nodded. They hunt better. The battlefield went eerily quiet. No devourers moved. No weapons fired. No new threats appeared. The governor exhaled shakily. Is it over? Ward did not respond. A technician in the Vorlon command center screamed, something massive is entering real space. The hologram flashed red. The shape emerging was enormous, far larger than any devourer ship seen so far. It looked like a planet cracked open and stuffed with muscle, bone, and screaming mouths. It pulsed with hunger. It radiated hatred. It was alive. It was the devourer queen ship. The room fell silent. The elder collapsed to his knees. That is, a world killer. The queen ship opened its maw. The psychic scream that came out rattled the souls of every living being on the planet. Even the Oblivion's edge trembled. The governor whispered, Captain Ward, Can you defeat that? Ward looked at the Queen's ship. His expression finally changed, only slightly, but enough to show recognition. This is the source of the swarm. The Devourers do not come without her. The Queen's ship charged its energy. The Vorlon shields flickered. Ward spoke quietly. Oblivion's edge. Prepare Core Lance. The technicians in the command center froze. What is a Core Lance? Is it a weapon? Is it safe? The Elder shook his head. No weapon should use the core. The Oblivion's edge began to open. Metal folded. Armor shifted. A massive chamber glowed at the center of the ship. Blue-white energy swirled like a newborn star caught in a cage. The Queen's ship shrieked, sensing danger. Ward gave the final command. Fire. The Core Lance fired a beam, thicker than mountains, brighter than a sun, and faster than thought. The beam struck the Queen's ship. Light consumed everything. The stars vanished. The Devourer vessel screamed once, then disappeared completely. No explosion, no debris. The Queen's ship ceased to exist. Silence ruled the system. The Oblivion's edge powered down slowly. Its glow faded back to calm gray metal. Ward spoke one last time. Threat eliminated. Inside the Vorlon command center, many began to cry, not from fear, from relief. The Devourers, the nightmare of the galaxy, were gone, and the Deathworlders had saved them, not with a fleet, not with reinforcements, but with one ship, and the Vorlon would never forget that day. The battlefield above Vorlon 5 had finally grown quiet. No Devourer ships remained, no green energy flickered, no psychic screams filled the air. Only the soft hum of the Oblivion's edge lingered, like the breathing of a colossal guardian watching over a fragile world. Inside the Vorlon command center, Governor Thale stood frozen, staring at the screen. His people. Had survived the impossible. Their world still existed. Their children still lived, and the reason was a single human warship. Not a fleet, not an army, just one ship. One ship that ended a nightmare. A soft beep broke the silence. Governor, a technician whispered, the human vessel is sending a communication request. The room straightened up instantly. Put it through, the governor said. The face of Captain Ren Ward appeared, calm, steady, and unchanged, as if he had not just ended a galactic horror with one ship. The governor bowed his head, deeply. Captain Ward, humanity saved us. We owe you everything. Ward's expression softened slightly. You don't owe us anything, Governor. The governor shook his head. But you sent your most dangerous ship. Why? Why risk such a powerful vessel for our small colony? Why send Oblivion's edge? A quiet moment followed. Ward looked down, choosing his words. When he raised his eyes again, there was no pride in them, only truth, because your SOS mentioned the Devourers. The room fell silent. The elder stepped forward. And that alone made you send your strongest weapon? Ward nodded. We only send medical ships for small threats. For raiders, pirates, or natural disasters, our response is different, but Devourers are not a small threat. His voice grew heavier. For this enemy we send Oblivion's edge. The Vorlons stared in awe. Humanity had not answered their call with pity or hope. Humanity answered with strategy. They answered with certainty. They answered with the weapon the galaxy feared most. Governor Thale stepped closer to the hologram. Captain, your ship, it fought as if built for this exact enemy. Ward nodded again. It was a wave of unease passed through the command center. You built a ship specifically to destroy the Devourers? Ward raised a hand. To stop them, he corrected. To end T. Hem before they erase another species. The elder swallowed hard. But why? Why would humanity take on that burden? Ward's voice lowered. Because we come from a death world, elder. Everyone leaned in where we grew up. Everything tried to kill us. Our plants, our animals, our storms, even our planet. We survived because we learned to fight threats that didn't stop, threats that didn't feel fear, threats that didn't negotiate. He gestured to the Devourer battlefield. The Devourers behaved the same way. They remind us of home. The Vorlon shivered. For them, the Devourers were the galaxy's worst nightmare. For humans, they were familiar. The elder bowed his head. You didn't just help us, he said. You saved us. Ward's expression didn't change. Deathworlders don't abandon people who ask for help. The quiet confidence in his voice struck the Vorlon deeper than any weapon. The governor blinked. But you didn't send help. You sent a monster, Ward chuckled softly. Only once. No, we sent a protector. He pointed upward toward the massive shadow in orbit. The Oblivion's edge was not built to conquer. It was built to end wars before they begin. It is dangerous because it has to be, the Vorlon were seeing humanity in a new light. Not as a violent species, but as one hardened by a violent world. A species that built powerful tools not out of pride, but out of necessity. A species that refused to let darkness win. Captain Ward, the governor said gently, your ship could destroy half the galaxy. Why trust yourself with such power? Ward's eyes dimmed. Because someone must, and because we know exactly what happens when that power falls into the wrong hands. Another quiet beat fell over the room. Ward continued. We don't want to rule the galaxy. We just want to make sure it still exists tomorrow. The Vorlon felt a strange mix of comfort and fear. Humanity was not dangerous because it wanted war. Humanity was dangerous because it refused to lose. A soft tone signaled the human ship preparing to leave. Ward glanced sideways. Our job here is done. The devourer threat in this sector is eliminated. The governor nodded weakly. Captain, if you ever need us anything, Vorlon 5 will answer. Ward smiled for the first time. I know. The screen flickered off. Outside, the Oblivion's edge shifted. Its engines glowed, space rippled around it. Then, with a single flash of light, the most dangerous ship in the galaxy jumped into hyperspace, silent, quick, and final. The Vorlon watched it vanish, unable to speak. The governor turned to his people. Today, he said softly, we witnessed something extraordinary. He looked at the empty starfield where the human ship had disappeared. Humanity saved us by showing us what true strength looks like. The elder nodded, not strength through fear, but strength through duty. Across Vorlon -5, messages spread. The Deathworlders came. They didn't send aid. They sent a ship that could slay nightmares. But the greatest truth whispered through every home, every speaker, every trembling voice. Humanity was not terrifying because of what they built. Humanity was terrifying because they cared enough to use it. As night fell on Vorlon -5, the elder stood alone beneath the stars. He whispered the truth now known by all. Humanity is not dangerous because they love war. Humanity is dangerous because they refuse to lose, and the galaxy would remember that lesson forever.